All right, continuation of our Mortgage Monday FHA links that are going to be useful for you. This video is going to kind of dive deeper into the links a little bit, so it is kind of a longer video. However, it's kind of show you kind of how to better navigate the system to your advantage. So, similar to the conventional loan conversation, FHA has their own links and portals and where you're going to find the information you need to be successful. So again, anytime you see a click here link, if you're watching the PowerPoint live, you can just click and it should take you where you need to go. If you're in edit mode, you're going to come down here and you're going to open the link, and it's going to take you to another site that allows you to look at the single family handbook, FHA 4000.1, and do your research. So don't get lost up here in the nuance of the web page. It is FHA, so it is a government site, so it's not the most convenient for navigation. But if you click on online single family handbook, it will take you to where you need to go. All right. The next thing you're going to want to know and make sure of is my loan limits. I don't want to overpromise and underdeliver, so you're just going to go here to the state of Tennessee. You're going to put in whatever information you want to, FHA forward, and then click send. And then it's going to give you every county in the state of Tennessee and their lending limits for single family, multifamily, and otherwise, right? And so you're going to take this information and kind of be able to appropriately address the loan limits for your customers, understanding that most of them you're going to see here are going to be in this $500,000, $24,000 realm. And then you'll get into major populace that will have alternate versions of that. So that's why we look it up, to kind of see where we fall, if we're in a higher limit or in a regular limit or in a low limit area. So again, you don't overpromise and underdeliver within the mortgage application process. And then you're going to want to see, okay, what programs does FHA have? Because maybe what I'm being taught isn't everything available. And that is 100% true. Most of the time, most lenders are not going to do every program that a particular agency offers. They're going to pick nuanced programs. They're going to want to do a rehab loan program or a reverse mortgage or condos or manufactured properties. Rarely will you see one lender do every single every single FHA program available, just because they don't specialize in it. And there is an old tutelage, a jack of all trades, a master of none. Most of these lenders end up being masters in their craft. One, because it prevents audits that make them have to buy back loans. But two, it allows their team to consistently see the same style of product, so their turn times get lower, right? If you're constantly doing a new loan, you're constantly learning about a new program, you're constantly dragging down your turn times. So you're going to find that certain lenders do certain loans very, very well because that's their niche. And it may not be the sexiest rate, but the loan gets done. So you tell your customer, look, I'm going to go to AFR for this down payment assistance file because it's a refer eligible file, and I know they'll close it there. Now, ideally, that's not the best place to go because their turn times are pretty dismal. I mean, let's call it spade a spade. However, tell me another place where you can take a refer eligible FHA file with down payment assistance. Your list will be very small. So there's a reason why we have this portal here, so you can go find the programs that you're looking for. And then we can go to our investors and go, all right, do you do this program? Is this something that we can do with you? And if not, how do we make that happen? Next thing you're going to want to know more about is the nuanced programs inside FHA. Conventional VA, USDA offer these programs, but the ones I'm giving you here, the manufactured housing, the 203K, and the reverse mortgage, live and die inside of FHA. They are phenomenal programs here, and they work very, very well. So I would come here first to see if they work, and then go pivot out to other programs. So manufactured housing is one of those. The manufactured housing is so unique because it's such a difficult property to get closed. Almost always you're going to have an opinion about what the property is coming from the realtor. And almost always you're going to have an opinion from the title company. And sometimes that's not the same conversation, right? The seller will think, oh, I got my title in hand. And the title company will be like, yeah, we can do an affidavit of fixation. And then we go to start recording all these things and they don't work because it's broken documents, the trail doesn't, match up with the change of custody of the property. Maybe the home that we were looking to do the manufactured lending on no longer meets FHA minimum requirements. So before you get super excited for doing a manufactured home, or before you get super negative and say it can't get done, let's look at the program requirements for FHA and make sure it is something that we can handle and the property is going to be okay. But almost always, your manufactured homes are going to have a path of least resistance through FHA. Okay? Next thing we want to talk about is a 203K. Now, there is, on the conventional side, like we talked about a couple weeks ago, home style renovation. That's available to you. They also have a 203K version of the home style renovation that comes in two different capacities, a full and a limited. Now, I'm not going to go too deep on these because I don't want you to get overwhelmed with it, but a limited is up to $75,000 in repairs and can be nothing structural. And a full must have at least $5,000 in repairs and can include structural. Okay, let's just stop there for now while we're on this initial FHA training. And when we go to our master classes for rehab loans, we'll talk deeper into the home style versus the FHA versus the full versus the limited and go deeper into there. But if you just want some high-level overview knowledge, you want to check some facts, and you want to look at the seller guide, here's a link for the 203K loans, so that way you can dive into it and arm yourself with knowledge. Andrew and myself are going to be your product experts, so we're going to help fill in the gaps of where your knowledge is, so that way you can successfully navigate these loans. Finally, the piece that I think is the most important for FHA is reverse mortgages. And you'll hear me talk about this a lot. I believe in the reverse mortgage. I believe in the nuance of the loan and what it does for our seniors. Most every single time somebody talks about the reverse mortgage, they're talking about it under FHA guide. They're not talking about it anywhere else. So it's a very unique program. I'll do a class on this separately. I just want you to know that if you have a senior or somebody that comes to you asking for a reverse mortgage, we can absolutely do them. There's two styles. There's a reverse refinance and a reverse for purchase. Okay, we can do both of those. And I'll talk to you about both of those at the time, but just know that FHA is the predominant moving force for these, and that's where you're going to do 99.9% of your reverse mortgage origination. So, super high level overview stuff. Let's recap it real fast. FHA seller guide, you want the 4000.1 and you want to download the guide and look at it every single time. Sometimes the guide changes, so don't save it. Just download it, read it, and make sure you're getting the most up-to-date information. Loan limits change annually. So if you looked at it in January, more than likely in August it's still the same, but check it just to make sure you're not over-promising and under-delivering to your customers. The programs change sometimes with FHA, but if you need to do research on a new program, go search for it there. And then manufactured housing, 203K, and reverse mortgages, again, are housed predominantly over at FHA, so take a look there. Thank you guys again so much for being on the call. Mortgage Mondays.